Man, welcome to Volume 7 of the New Heat Spotlight Series, man. I'm here with Cam Gnarly, i.e. Vet. What's the deal, family?
What's up, man? How you doing?
You know. Corona daps, you feel it?
For real.
Man, so what's good, man? I know, early morning, so, man, I know how.
Yeah.
Tell me how it is to be up this early.
You know what? I'll be early. I'm up early anyway. So, I just woke up at 6. Had some coffee, had some fruit, smoked a blunt. I'm here, so we good.
Okay, I mean, I'm glad that I'm glad you're here safely.
Yeah.
Man, once again, shout out to Productions by Rob. Shout out my man Fly Life Mars, man. Fly Life Films, Breakin Ground TV in the building. Man, let's get right to it. So, man, you've been in the game a long time.
Yeah.
Been in the game a long time. I mean, you were in the game before I even started hosting the Common Grounds and Smiley Face Gathering.
Yeah.
So, for the people that don't know you, jump in, let them, tell you a bit about yourself.
My name is Cam Gnarly. I'm from the north side of San Bernardino. I started making music in college, like around 2010, 2009 or something like that. I was in a group for a long time when I was really young, between the ages of 18 or 19 or something like that. And then I really started making a name for myself and doing shows and shit like that at the Glass House in Pomona as Cam Gnarly in 2012, something like that. Opening up for Kendrick and Dom and Currency and doing shows like Pac Div and Overdose and stuff. We would do shows in LA and then.
How'd that come about? How did you get on those cards? Those are some big names.
I was a part of the team that was throwing the shows.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was, shout out to the homies Abstract Evolution. Homie Flight was there too. You remember back in those days, and we were at I was in college. I wasn't going to school anymore, but I was working with people. I used to do a radio show, bro. I've done a whole lot of stuff, but I did a radio show at Cal State San Bernardino, and I helped them link with Guerrilla Union. So then some of my homies that I was going to school with, they started this company called Abstract Evolution, and I would help them pick the lineup. So I would tell them what was cracking and who I was listening to at the time, and we would book them, and I would open up on those sets. And then from there, I started releasing mixtapes and stuff like that around 2012, 2013, stuff like that. I dropped a Cammy Terrell mixtape that got some good love, and plus I was opening up for a lot of the artists that I liked and listened to. And then from there, just budded from there. I dropped another project in 2014 called GoPro, and that gave me a little bit more. Yeah, songs like Levitate and Low Pro and stuff like that really pushed me past where I was at, because a lot of people didn't know where I was at. Yeah, and then from there just continue to go. After that, I did The Positive Prevails. A year after that, 2016, and that's when I dropped the song Cabbage, and then that really propelled a lot more stuff too. Yeah, that song. Shout out to Cabbage. Shout out to Brian Falk, the producer and stuff. That song is one of those songs that really changed things for me. Elevated people's awareness of my music and my message throughout the music and stuff like that, from songs like Levitate from GoPro, and then The Positive Prevails and Cabbage, and the other songs that was popular from that project. In that year, I did a show every weekend for all of 2016, 2017. Right. So then from there, my name was being more seen. I was doing more shows, and like I said, I started out helping throwing shows. So the people that I've always looked up to and admired, they weren't just artists. They were facilitating their own platforms and making their own shit. Shout out to the homie Noah James. With Underground. From the IE, we gotta go even harder, honestly, because we're so far out. So the ability to pull things together and create platforms for ourselves and for others has always been a cornerstone of why and how I do what I do, because I've created so many long-term connections with people just off pure consistency. And
consistency is key.
Yeah,
consistency is key.
And it's the passion of just enjoying it, really doing it for fun. Sometimes it's not about setting up nothing for myself. It's really about throwing events for other people to create those platforms for the artists that I like. Before COVID was going on, I run Rat Habits Holiday, and we were throwing those Your events, and we did the one at Delicious Pizza.
With Miss Victoria.
Yep. And then we did another one, You're Welcome, with Plain and Sham, and then at the art space over there.
Yep.
So
you did the art space with Funky.
Yep. So like I mean, like there's just so many. Like I'm a part of a network of just creatives, you know, like people who throw events, people who make music, people who create content, and I kind of, you know my way around doing all those things. So it's always helped my music because you know people will find my music and listen to it and enjoy it in that way, or they'll see me in a live setting and they'll enjoy it that way, or they hear my music played at another event that I'm not even at and they'll enjoy it that way. So,
or you're just chilling and you see you at the event. Exactly. I mean, man,
exactly.
How does so with saying all that, how does it feel to be like a gatekeeper? I would say, I mean, of the IE, of the Inland Empire, because you know right now we're having a surge of good music, good artists coming out of the IE. I mean, LA will always have its thing. They'll always have their artists coming out, but for us, like people that live out that way, like how does it feel to be a connector, to be somebody that's well known, that can put things together from point A to point B?
It's a good space to be in because I know that I do it just for the benefit of my section, because I know that I'm creating bridges between Los Angeles and any other place that I take the IE with me. I'm creating those bridges to make it easier for other artists that are from where I'm from, or see in the sense of like, you know, it's attainable. Like you can really grow beyond where you're just at. You know, for me, I don't even look at myself as just like an IE artist, or, you know, I was born in LA too. I don't see myself as just like an LA person. I always grew up going back and forth, just about how my pops and my mother met. Like I was always going back and forth. So outside of that, it's dope to just be able to be like a proprietor of good music, quality music out of California. Like, because for us, especially in the IE, it's like a melting pot, you know, because we're such a big county, like the biggest county in the whole U.S. So we have no choice but to be a melting pot of so many different things and so many different scenes in the music community out there. So it's dope to be able to just throw the lob to people, or just create platforms for people to get seen. Like, you know, because like I said, like it makes it easier and it keeps me inspired too, because I'm always finding new artists and new stuff that's going on that keeps me like, oh, this is dope. Like I want to check this person out, or, you know, give them a platform so people can see what I'm seeing.
Okay, so tell me who you got your eye on personally that you've been listening to. Dude.
Right now, I mean, my homie from San Bernardino, do the damn thing. He's fucking cracking right now.
Man,
I've known him for a long time.
Him everywhere.
Yeah, man, he's a really, really dope lyricist. I hope nothing but good stuff for him. But yeah, like him, I'll be checking on him, and then who else? There's like other like indie bands and stuff that I listen to. I got a Rialto, like the homies Brain Story and stuff like that. And then just the people I've, you know, came up with and that I see still continuing to push it and go hard, like Noah and Lisa, like Stevie, like Cam Archer, like, you know, like just the guys that, you know, we'll be seeing all the time.
Like an all-star team to me.
I mean, I can't front, like, you know, we've got really great artists, you know, that really have grown and changed in different ways and done a lot of stuff that, you know, some artists have not been able to do. Like, you know, we've been lucky enough to be able to push our sound and do our music, and, you know, and be able to be on festival stages and tour stages and stuff like that, and have like the opportunities that some people really would want. Like I've been able to get off the strength of just like, I'm doing this from a very pure place. Like I really enjoy making music. I really enjoy facilitating music. Like that's some shit that's just like embedded in me before even music. Like my family, like that's how we came up. Like we help each other. Like I come from a really big family, so I know what it's like to do for others, to have others do for you, and it's a give and take, especially on some, you know, black people. Like that's how we do it. So for me, I wouldn't even be able to be in the position that I'm in, you know, whatever that is, if it wasn't for, you know, the connections that I built and bonds that I built with people over the years. Like, you know, just. And it continues. It really does. That's how we met. How everybody.
Man, that's how we met. Man, it's crazy because I remember doing the Common Ground and always coming to the Common Ground and like, because I hit Noah up one day and just like, you know, I'm just trying to get back in the scene, man. I know, you know, I met him back in like, I want to say the early 2000s, and I knew him when he was like rapping, like battle rapping and all that. He came to our school and washed everybody. Washed.
Yeah, I went to high school, no, so I'm already known.
Man, so it was crazy, and then just slowly but surely, I seen your music, and I just seen it elevate and keep going and going. And then I started doing the Smiley Face gatherings out at the B-side shop, you know, and those were Those are some good days. That man, cabbage went up in there. You had
yeah, man. Honestly, I think about, you know what I've been doing a lot too, reflecting because of COVID, because it's been almost 200 days since I've done a show, and I'm very used to doing shows. You know, it's a big part of the way people find my
being
music.
out there.
Yeah, so it's been interesting to adjust, but I've also found the time to tighten up loose screws and stuff like that because I was so active.
Like what?
Performing.
What did you think that you were lacking that you had to, that you had to tighten up?
Just like business side stuff, like, you know, just making sure there's a more of a foundation should things, you know, should like the
Should things
availability,
happen,
like you can't go out
net.
on stage anymore. I'm like, okay, like, damn, I will move a certain amount of units of merch throughout the months of selling stuff. So I'm like, okay, so now that prompted me to have the time to set up my web store and stuff like that, and also focus on, you know, visuals and stuff that I wasn't able to have the time to do because I had my hand in other pots, like I said, like throwing events and helping other people throw their events and creating content for other sites on top of just the shit that I'm doing for my own music. So I was able to really, you know, like the hustle didn't stop. It just like got more refined and shit because, you know, what was going on or what is still currently going on. So that's really been dope, like really just tightening up those spaces. But like I the way I look at it, it's just like it's like a really good time to refocus. Like so that's really all I've been on. Like
I feel it. I mean, it's always good for time to reflect. You know, always time to take. You know, be self-aware of the things that you're doing, especially your craft. So then, now that you spoke about COVID and you know about you doing shows and you're not used to not being on the stage, tell me how you've accepted or you're blending into or you're transitioning into virtual performances.
I've done a lot of virtual performances.
Tell me how that goes, because I know that's kind of,
you know, it varies. It depends on the setup, like who's setting it up. Like now I'm just about to get into like a whole bunch of like technical stuff, but like it depends on who, like how you're doing your setup, because you don't want to lose quality. Like for me, it's just about the quality aspect. I've done some live streams that the quality suffers, and it's a good opportunity to like talk to the fans and like people who to tap in, people who would usually go to shows or support or buy things like that, like are able to still support in that capacity. But you know, it's really just about the quality. So like doing a live stream, I don't want to give up too much, but I do have like some stuff coming up that will make it a little bit more like virtually accessible to see the music and listen to it in a live format. So
I mean, you gotta tap into everything.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. Like I feel like I may have been looking at things one way before, and then once that way was blocked, you know, my natural adaptability is like, okay, like what can we do now? And shit's been really dope. Like I've had a good 2020 amongst everything that's been going on.
Oh, so you had a go. So your 2020 is not looking as bad as everybody else's.
I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's bad in the sense that I can't do shows, and you know, like, you know, there were tours and stuff set up that aren't happening and stuff like that, and
that's the toughest thing.
That's the yeah. So, but it's all about perspective, you know. Like, you know, what can you make out of this situation, and how can you make it beneficial to you, even though, you know, don't get it twisted, niggas is going through it, you know. So, there's that space you did have to go through, like that certain adjusting period, and you know, like on a personal, on like a spiritual level and shit like that. Like you really gotta focus on your healing and like really. You know, because a lot of people are navigating some wild shit, and COVID has affected me and mine in a particular way that I really had to, like, really tune in on myself and become more self-aware in that way of, like, damn, like, this is really affecting a lot of people. So, and then, even on top of that, I guess what the period has also been, too, with everything that happened after George Floyd and stuff, like, it really incentivized me to, like, use my platform in that way, too, especially with not doing shows. So I found myself working in more organizing spaces, working with like Black Lives Matter IE and you know, other people organizing peaceful protests and stuff like that, using my platform in that way. And I feel like it was like it was a very natural thing to do, but again, I feel like the reason why it happened too, because it's mixed with COVID. People are at home and had time to be more self-aware and pay more attention to that type of situation. Because before we would see many situations like George Floyd happen all the time, but life was going on anyway. But with everyone being home, it gave people an opportunity to really like think about what's happening and then, you know, really mobilize that shit. And that's why you saw so many people across the world, across the country.
Now.
Yeah, in the streets.
Portland going crazy, man. Y'all keep going, man. I'm telling you that now.
You have to, and that's another thing, yeah, you have to continue to apply the pressure. But I apply that same energy to the work ethic as well as being more purposeful, because you know, when you got a platform, you got to use. For me anyway, I'm not saying anybody got to. You know, I can't speak to what any other rapper or artist want to do, but for me anyway, like having a platform and having people who, you know, otherwise would be listening to my music or coming to my shows, like I take that as responsibility to give them the information that I'm
responsibility
getting, for real. So that's what's really been keeping me active during this time. Not only have I been like making visuals and, you know, setting up spaces where people can support the brand even further, but at the same time, like, you know, helping facilitate spaces for awareness and shit so we can create the social change and shit that's necessary.
Okay. So now, what has been your favorite feature before we get into 333 Hertz? What has been your favorite feature from
that I've done or that I have
from the last projects that you've done? Well, and from other artists, because my favorite one is the With Assad. Yeah.
I like that. I like that
one. That's
one.
my favorite one. I really wish I could have linked with y'all to get the video.
That was
popping,
a good day
bro.
too. Yeah, that was a dope ass day. I really had a good time. Shout out to Assad, man. Shout out to homie David Flores.
Cause man, that's a movie.
Yeah, that song is hard. I love that song. But you're asking what's my favorite feature that I've done or
that you've done?
Okay. Damn. That Assad one is a good one. I do like that one. What else? I got this one. Me and Noah have a bunch of songs together.
Yeah.
Before we had a bunch of songs together, I did a verse on a song called Sermon Chocolate, and I like that one too. Because I ended up doing that verse later on at Low End Theory before it shut down, and just seeing, you know, that's what I really miss, like that big crowd, bro. Like I miss the big energy of the crowds.
I miss being able to walk in and grab a drink first, and then like, walk up on stage. Yeah. What's up?
It's
hey,
different.
It's different.
It's completely different, especially doing it from the crib wherever you at. It's different. But I think outside of that feature, what's my favorite one? I got one more. You know what? And get on his head about this too. I got a feature that I did for M16 like a couple years ago, and it's fire, like a timeless verse, and he hasn't released it yet. So that's probably one of my favorite ones. Like it's not out yet.
Just hoard it.
Hear it?
Hey, M16, man. Stop hoarding, man.
Real, tell bro
stop
to drop
hoarding.
that
We
song,
need that.
Bro. He gonna drop when I die, I'm sure.
Which God willing is a long time.
Yeah, shit.
You feel me?
Because
the bubonic plague came back all of a sudden.
I know you saw that. You saw that post about somebody getting the plague.
Bro, I say, yo, just pack up, we're out. You feel me?
Real, man. But start wearing a fucking biosuit or something.
Man, but all right, man. Let's get right to it. 333 Hertz, man. What's the deal?
Man, that project. Shout out to everyone listening to that project, especially with COVID. I find it really interesting. You know how I am, bro. Like with alignment and shit like that, and the way I be thinking about stuff. I found it very interesting that after dropping Nirvana and having such a good year with Nirvana, like that project was streamed like crazy, more than any of my other music prior. So to work on a project after that, and the mindset that I was going into was like, okay, because 333 hertz is a frequency for healing, and that frequency is throughout the entire project. And then on angel numbers and stuff like that, 333 is like a balancing number to remind you of like your abundance and to stay and tapped into your mind, your body, and your spirit. So, and then on a personal level, 333 is a number that I've seen like a bunch of times throughout my life. My name starts with a C, third letter of the alphabet. My mother has 3 children. We all got the same exact initials, CCC. It's just like a whole thing. It's been around a lot. So to focus for the focus to be like that intentional with all aspects of the music, and then for COVID to happen in a time where people should definitely be focusing on their healing, like in the sense of like making sure your mind is right because things are weird and you got to navigate it, making sure your spirit or like your body, your immune system is right and shit like that, because you really got to combat fucking invisible illnesses and shit like that. So I find it dope that people are listening to the music and it's about healing before I even knew what was about to come. So that project is just about that kind of energy reignited. And then like all the homies that I have on the project too, Airplane James and Triggs and Richard Wright and Waju,
both of those are really underrated. Richard Wright and Waju, really underrated.
Those are my bros, man. We met a lot of music together in the last in that last year of like 2019 before 2020. So Yeah, those guys are dope, and that's why I was really intentional about putting them on the project. And I always like to, like, you know, I make a lot of music, I make a lot of different reference songs and stuff like that, and it's always dope to be able to make a song with the homies. Like, Triz is really like the homie, Waju and Rich are like really the homies. We've known each other for like a really long time. So making those songs were easy. Like, there weren't none of those verses were mailed in or any of that. Like,
it's authentic, organic,
we made all
in the
those.
studio.
Even the one with me and Plain, like, Mary Jane, like, I made the track and stuff like that, but we were together in the room when we were recording it and stuff like that. So, you know, all those verses were really organic, and I feel like that's a big part of my music is the fact that it is always organic, and I focus on the growth. Like, I don't want to give you a project that sounds similar to the last one. Like, I want you to feel the growth and the expansion in the sound, and then the topics, and then like the overall rollout for the entire project. I want you to feel the growth, and I feel like that was like really apparent in this one. So yeah, 333 is just about healing, man. It's dope that people really vibe with it.
Okay, man. So before we get out of here, man, I need two things from you. Well, of course, you're gonna tell the people, you know, how to find you and all that.
Yeah.
But man, when you gonna put me on the track, bro?
You want to go on the track? After we, you know, off camera, I'll play some stuff. You know what I mean?
Give me a little spit.
Yeah. I'm actually about to drop I don't know when this is about to drop, but I will be dropping a new visual from 333, a video called Too Much that the homie Audio King produced. Shout out to Victor Hernandez and DPGS. We shot the visual out in the city of Orange, but it's a dope video for one of my favorite songs off the project. But that's about to come out next.
Man, I mean, it's good to know that you got stuff coming and it's COVID.
Oh yeah,
I'm glad that you staying safe, sane, and healthy.
I'm in the crib. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm staying safe, sane, and healthy. I'm about to, you know, I feel bad that I can't be out there with the people like we used to and stuff, but...
And I wish that I could get out there with the people, man. I got true kids.
Oh, yeah.
I
got a niece, but that's the only thing. I ain't got a niece. I don't know kids, man, but...
Hey, man, just hold off.
I work in the school district.
Find a marriage first.
Find a marriage first?
Find a marriage first.
My brother just got married. Shout out to my bro. He's had his 1 year anniversary. Hold it down, you feel me?
Hey, because not a lot can. Not a lot can.
Hey, yeah, they doing good. But yeah, that's what I've been on. Like, you know, I'm about to drop a web store so people can support the merch and support the brand. So, you know, since we can't be in person anymore like we was, you know, you can still support. So I'll be having a camgnarly.com coming out, and I have like a bunch of Posi Waves merch and 333 merch from the album and just Cam Gnarly stuff. So music videos and exclusive stuff.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Hey man,
you gotta stay working.
Yes sir. See, I'm working right now.
Well, go ahead and tell them where to find you, where to go to listen to your music.
Man, my name is Cam Gnarly. You can find me on any music platform that you listen to. Just search in the Google on the internet like you do anyway. CAMGNARLY. I'm sure it's gonna pop up or some shit like that. But yeah.
Oh, it does, cause I googled him. I've been googling you all week.
I'm out here, bro. Check me out.
Check the status, huh?
Ask Flight. Tell him, like, bro, I've been out here.
I know what it is, bro.
Alright, man. Well, you already know it's Cam Gnarly. It's your boy MJ, man. Appreciate you. This new Heat Spotlight.
Peace. Stay positive.